We changed the world in history right here where we're from. It's new beginnings, you and me, cause we're not done. In our city, in our city, in our city, we're not done.
Okay, I think that's time to get up right now. Okay, it's time to rise and shine. Good morning. How you doing? How's everybody doing? Now, I've been missing me for a little while. I understand. I feel you on that one. I know what that feels like. Okay, so now though, it is time for our daily bread, which is one of the things we do. This time of morning. And I came up with this song. Me and AI came up with this song, and I keep getting a notice from Facebook. Somebody else is claiming your song. You got to claim my song when I claimed it. Me and AI did it. Okay. Anyway, good morning to you. It is, believe it or not, it is the 13th day of October, 2025. Next up, it is our daily bread, a word from on high. It will change your perspective, or at least maybe give you a new one. It is a day that has never been, and it is a day, believe it or not, that won't ever be again. It is a once-in-a-lifetime deal, and once it's gone, you don't get a do-over. You don't get it back. You don't get to come back and undo all the things that you do this day, and you certainly don't get a chance to come back and do the things that you should have done this day that you don't. So whatever it is that you do with this day, the 13th day of October 2025, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you be proud of what you have done on this day. My mother used to say that nothing beats a failure but a try. And all you got to do is try, is put one foot in front of the other. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Don't ever give up. Because quitters never win. And winners may lose every once in a while, but they never quit. So don't you. Next up, it is our daily bread, and we'll be back in a couple minutes here. Okay, so don't go no place.
We can bless God with our singing despite the worries of life. Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Today's reading, titled Strengthened in Song, was written by Patricia Rabin. When French villagers helped Jewish refugees hide from the Nazis during World War II, some sang songs in the dense forest surrounding their town, letting the refugees know it was safe to come out from hiding. These brave townspeople of Le Chambon-sur-Lignon had answered the call of local pastor André Trocmé and his wife Magda to offer wartime refuge to Jews on their windswept plateau known as La Montagne Protestante. Their musical signal became just one feature of the villagers' bravery that helped save up to 3,000 Jews from almost certain death. In another dangerous time, David sang when his enemy Saul sent nighttime assassins to his house. His use of music wasn't a signal. Rather, it was his song of gratitude to God, his refuge. David rejoiced in Psalm 59, "I will sing of your strength. In the morning I will sing of your love, for you are my fortress, my refuge in times of trouble." Such singing isn't whistling in the dark during danger. Instead, David's singing conveyed his trust in Almighty God. David continues, "You, God, are my fortress, my God on whom I can rely." David's praise and the villagers' singing in Le Chambon offer an invitation to bless God today with our singing, making melody to Him despite the worries of life. His loving presence will respond, strengthening our hearts. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Psalm 59, verse 1, and verses 14 through 17. Deliver me from my enemies, O God. Be my fortress against those who are attacking me. They return at evening, snarling like dogs, and prowl about the city. They wander about for food and howl if not satisfied. But I will sing of your strength. In the morning I will sing of your love, for you are my fortress, my refuge in times of trouble. You are my strength. I sing praise to you. You, God, are my fortress, my God on whom I can rely. Let's pray. Dear God, we thank you for the gift of song and how music can help soothe our fears and anxieties, especially when we sing songs of praise and worship to you. We ask that when we're faced with fearful situations, that you would place a song on our hearts that focuses our minds on you and reminds us of your goodness and faithfulness. Thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Amen. Now, of course, we pay homage to our armed forces of these United States of America, because as we slept last night, some of us slept last night, we took for granted. We took for granted a couple of things. We took for granted that we're going to get up this morning. I never do. And we took for granted that we are a free nation, at least for the time being. We take those things for granted until we don't have them anymore. So let us take this for granted, that as long as we take care of our young men and women, take care of them, they'll try to help take care of us, okay? Oh, yeah, it is Columbus Day. I don't celebrate Columbus Day. I mean, why? America was already, I hate the fact that people say, oh, he founded America. No, America found him. Okay, it was already here. Okay, it wasn't nobody, it wasn't lost. America was not lost. So you only can find something when somebody don't know where it is. Okay, it was already here. Okay, it's like saying, man, I found Montgomery, Alabama. Well, no, it was already there. You know, I ran into it because I was on my way someplace else. That's okay. We're gonna leave that alone. Okay, I know. I know I'm getting cynical in my old age, I guess. But now we didn't find Columbus. I mean, Columbus didn't find America. You know, who's that guy named Amerigo Vespucci, whatever his name was? See, they tried to trick a brother. Okay, he expanded Western civilization. Yeah, well, has that been good or been bad? I don't know quite. Yeah, the court's still out. Although there's no doubt in my mind that America has been the epitome of what's possible. I will give us that much credit. We have been but we also have been the epitome of some of the things what not to do. But anyway, we can get into those conversations. I forgot today was a holiday. Why did I take the day off? Because that means I would have had to work on Friday. So no, we don't want to. We don't want to do it. We want to give at least a good effort for 4 days, and after that, we see y'all later. Anyway, good morning to you. It's a great day to be alive again as we celebrate our armed forces of these United States of America: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and all the other Space Force. Okay, I can live with that. Okay, so hang loose, and we'll be back. Uno momento, or uno dos tres cuatro cinco momento. So we'll be back. Don't go any place. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this thing rolling right here. Okay, where is the salute to the armed forces? Can somebody find that for me? Really? All right. Thank you very much. Oh, there it is right there. We'll be right back. I promise.
Over hill, over dale, we will hit the dusty trail, and those caissons go rolling along. In and out, hear them shout, cows are marching all about, and those caissons go rolling along. For it's high, high beat in the field artillery. Count out their numbers loud and strong. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And wherever you go, you will always know that those caissons go rolling along. Hang
prolific author and writer who knew the power of words. Ernest Hemingway made a bet with a group of authors over lunch. And this bet that Ernest Hemingway made with these authors over lunch has become an anecdote about his life. They bet Ernest Hemingway $10 that he could not write a short story in 6 words. They bet Ernest Hemingway $10 that he could not write a short story in 6 words. And Hemingway took the bet because he was a genius when it came to making words count. He took the bet and he took a napkin and scribbled these 6 words on the napkin that are a powerful story. Here's the 6 words that Ernest Hemingway wrote a short story in 6 words. The words are for sale, baby shoes never worn. That's a powerful, powerful story. Everybody in here this morning got a 6-word story. Here's another story that somebody might have. There has been a terrible accident. Six words. There has been a terrible accident. Six words. Here's my 6-word story. I'm leaving. The marriage is over. Here's somebody else's story. Your position is no longer needed. Here's somebody else's story. I just want to be friends. Here's somebody else's story. The cancer isn't responding to treatment. Six words. Here's somebody else's story. You are not able to conceive. That's somebody else's story. Here's the last story. Here's a rose off the casket. 6 words. Did I say it was over? No, it's not. Because God has 6 words. That's the point of this whole sermon. God will not waste your pain. God will not waste your pain. God will not waste your pain. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. God will not waste your pain. Cry in the midnight, but weeping will endure for a night. But joy will come in the morning. Let them fire you on your job. No weapon sown against me will be able to prosper. Let your enemies think they have the upper hand. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. But God will not waste your pain. Go through whatever you got to go through. Cry as long as you think you need to cry. But then pick yourself up, take a bath, put some clothes on, come back to church on Sunday morning and said, I thought I'd never stop crying, but the Lord dried my tears. I thought I'd never laugh again, but here I am in the house of God, testifying that if you trust and never doubt, he will surely bring you out. Somebody got a story that I just mentioned a moment ago.
You know what I've noticed about God's trials? He hardly ever tells you, this is a trial, and if you hold out for 6 months, you'll be through. And some of us get to 5 months and 29 days, and we give up. We didn't know we only had one more day. Never give up. Never give up. Never give up. There's no precedent in the Bible for giving up. God determines how long the test will last, not we. Never give up. You cannot bypass endurance. You know whom I'm speaking to at the moment? Me. You cannot bypass endurance and enter into the promises of God. You can come so far, but the completeness is only through endurance. And just when it seems impossible to hold out, that's the time to hold out. Don't give in. I would like to say that to several of you individually. You're in the test. You're doing all right. Just hang in there. Don't back out. Don't give up. God is faithful. I've been asked sometimes if I had a message to leave for posterity, what would it be? I always say I can give it to you in 3 words. God is faithful. God is faithful.
God will not waste your pain. God will not waste your pain. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. God will not waste your pain. Cry in the midnight, but weeping will endure for a night, but joy will come in the morning. Everybody here, everybody here has a 6-word story, but thank God that's just one chapter. God has not written the end of the book. Because when you look in the back of the book, there are some answers in the back of the book. If you don't know how things are going to turn out in your life, the answer is in the back of the book. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven like a bride dressed up for her husband. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. There shall be no more sorrow or crying, no more pain or death, for the former things are passed away. Behold, we see through a glass darkly, but one day face to face I will know, even as also I am known.
Let me stop that right quick now.
Ernest Hemingway.
We got it now. Six words. That is a powerful sermon. I mean, baby shoes. Wait a minute. What those 6 words? Wait a minute. Baby shoes never. New baby shoes never worn. Wow, that is a story. That's heartbreaking. As a matter of fact, that's heartbreaking. Anyway, good morning to you. Hope today finds everybody doing well out there this morning. I love these things though, because you know what? Somebody this morning is going through something that we don't know about. Everybody's going through. That's the only reason why I play these things on Mondays and Thursdays, because we all need a little motivation sometimes when things get rough on our life, gets in turmoil, our kids go crazy, things of that nature. I haven't had that problem, but my life been in turmoil, and that's I was the prognosticator in that one most of the time. But anyway, good morning to all of you. And again, let me put the number up here if you got something you want to share with us this morning. See, I've been trying to get people to for sale baby shoes never worn. Thank you, Greg. I don't know. I've heard this 50 times. For sale baby shoes never worn. That is a man. That is a powerful statement. And here's another one. God will not waste your pain. I've often say that that one of the reasons why in the present, the past, no matter how bad it was, we look at it with a smile. We look at it with a smile because we've been through the storm. And when we're going through the storm, we don't quite know how that's going to end, And once we're on the other side of it, we made it through. With the help of God Almighty, we made it through, and now we're joyous about it. So when you're going through the storm, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I can't believe that Greg remembered that, and I didn't. I played it a whole bunch of times, but it is a good thing. First of all, let me find out some things this weekend. Not necessarily about anything that you guys be interested in. But let me give you a couple things, then we get on with the show. The lessons of life today is this. Great people are truly humble. Most of us underestimate the importance of humility. It is an important skill because it keeps you teachable, regardless of how much you already know or the things that you possess. So always, in your ingredients of life, always add a little humility. And I forgot that along the way too. At times you forget that. But if you don't have humility, you are at some point you will be reminded that you need it. Okay? Like when you go to work December the 2nd, 2024, and they say we don't need you no more. So we're closing down the station. Well, so you have to be humble. See, you can't think that you all this and all that, because life will change in a second. So always have humility. It is a human trait, and it's a human trait only. We need to use it more often. Yes, we do. Okay. Yours true. I mean, how in the world can a broke man? I mean, seriously, how kind of world can a broke guy be arrogant? Ooh, I will leave that one alone. Anyway, good morning to you. The word of the day is milk toast. Milquetoast. Milk toast. You know what it means? It means somebody who's weak and timid and unassertive and unmotivated. So if anybody ever calls you milk toast, yeah, you don't. Yeah, you. I mean, don't fight the guy, but yeah, he pretty much insulted the hell out of you. Okay, so okay, that's okay. All right then. So that word of the day is milk toast, and the lesson of life today for the 13th day of October 2025 is all about being humble. Being broke will humble you. Yeah, it will. And when a guy puts your car on the back of his repo truck, because some life just happens. Sometimes you can't afford it. That humbles you too. I just hope the brother will give me a ride home. Anyway, good morning to you. How's everybody doing? How is everyone doing today? I hope you had a great weekend. Not too many bad things happened over the weekend that I know of anyway. Um, the mayors and we are still trying to get over the shooting thing a couple weeks ago, and that just that's got everybody. Oh, one more thing. When my sister passed away from cancer in 2020, he was talking about she couldn't stop crying. I couldn't either. And I don't cry about very many things. I'm a super duper paratrooper, and I know we're supposed to be tough, but there are some things in your life will let you know that you're human, that you're like everybody else. You hurt, you're glad sometimes, you're mad sometimes, and you hurt sometimes. Um, but let it out. Don't hold it forever, because if you hold it forever, it's gonna give you stress on the brain, and just sometimes it's good to cry. Sometimes it is not because you want to, but because you need to. Because every last one of us needs we need to have somebody or something in our life that we care so much about until it makes us cry. So crying is actually good. It means you have someone that you care about or something that you care about. If you've never cried, have you ever really cared? I'm just saying you might want to put that. You might want to put that on a piece of paper. Okay. All right then. Oh, and there's something that I never hear people talk about down here. Um, Better tell Trump that. Yeah, the Mississippi Miracle. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna play that in a minute here if I can find it. Um, what's it called? The Mississippi Miracle. Man, you got to send it to me. You got to send it to me in my uh in my messenger my messenger thing. That way I can play it on the air because it's interesting. It always amazes me though all these schools. I don't know what the metrics are. What the standard is to consider what a good education is. I really don't know anymore. I know half that problem. Half that problem is expectation. If you don't expect much, you don't get much. Okay, it's their antics. Oh, it is. Okay, well let me go check on that. Then, well, send it to me one more time so I can make sure I can, because I don't see it on my thing right here. Understanding compassion. Oh, really now? Really now? Okay, I hear you. Huh. Go this right quick so I can. Good morning. I'm doing fine. Why is that? Listen. When I woke up this morning and I saw they let those people go, the few people that were still alive, yeah, I think he should have got it too. But I don't think he should be the humility again. I don't think he should be the one that tells people he should get it. Yeah, because nobody in the last golly in the last 10 years or so have been able to have a conversation with Hamas, and since they can't hear the call, well, sorry about that. Well, let me see if I can do it. Man, I had this all worked out yesterday. Really, really good. Okay, I don't know. Well, yeah, but it's a good. Can't hear the caller. Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay. Well, but if Trump, wait a minute, but he's not the guy. And why is it almost over? Why is Oh, did I lose you? I didn't mean to lose you there, brother. Let me see here now. Hang loose there. Hang loose. Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. Yeah. 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 I'm just wait, hold on. Let me tell the caller. Let me tell you what the folks here, what you're talking about, because they don't hear you. Now, if you come into the studio, people can hear you. Until I figure this mess out, it keeps look like every weekend when I turn the computer off, I lose something here. I don't know what's going on. But the caller is talking about yeah, yeah. Well, the caller is, can y'all hear this guy now? Hey, Pete, listen, y'all cut me some slack here. I'm trying to figure this out here. Okay, it's going anyway. Okay, listen, I am absolutely sure. I'm absolutely sure that if you don't like Trump, you don't like Trump. But that is the point. Yeah. Again, again, okay, and again, we okay. Let me see here. Yeah, yeah. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Let me make sure I get my sound thing working here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it ain't me. It's equipment, bro. We can't hear. Yeah, we can't hear the call. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, we get now you get it. The 6 words would be we can't hear the call. Hey man, I'm working on it. Okay, I really am. I'm working on it. But it was working this weekend. I mean, it worked the other day. I don't know what happened with this thing now. Okay, let me try this one more again. Now, does anybody hear us now? Can we hear us now? What is the gist of the call was is that he said that I should be angry or somebody should be angry because Trump didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize, and nobody thinks he should get a Nobel Peace Prize. Oh, okay. Can we hear now? Hey, listen, because my mind ain't what it used to be. Okay, that's why. Because I didn't change it. It just changed, bro. It just changed. I don't know why. It just changed. Okay, so let me go here. Okay, can y'all hear me now? Well, y'all can hear me. The question is hearing the callers. Well, we'll figure that when I get done. I got to figure out how to keep that in there. But Don, hey, because I can't remember what I did. I can't because I thought when I did it, it's done. Okay, so that's why. Okay, I'm just saying. Head off your head, and you'll be able to think better. Take the offering plate hat off. Woo! Okay, then. Well, we'll see if anybody else call. We'll see. Anyway, his thing was about Trump. Now, I don't think Trump should have said I should get the Nobel Peace Prize. Again, humility goes a long way when it comes to human beings, and somebody else should have made raised stand about this. But to see those 20 quote unquote living hostages that these people been holding, I don't think a lot of people know what happened, how this all started. It all started when Hamas went to Vietnam, not to Vietnam, went to Israel one morning and killed and murdered people, babies, and everybody, and took 1,500 people. How that happened, only God knows. How you can go in a man's country and take 1,500 of his citizens and make them prisoners. I mean, no wonder Israel's still mad, and they killed a lot of them. Killing babies and stuff like that. So for a couple of years now, we've been, and this happened. This started during the Biden administration. Um, we've been trying to get them back, and everybody blaming Israel for what they're doing. Well, you let somebody come to Montgomery and in the dead of night hurt your citizens, hurt your babies, and hurt your grandma, your grandfather, and your dad, your mom, and kill them. And the ones you don't kill, you take hostage. You don't think that we would go and do some terrible things to people? Really? I mean, thank you. I mean, so we would do the same thing. Okay. As a matter of fact, 3,000 of our citizens were killed on 911, and for 20 years, we went out there and put a lot of young men's and women's lives on the line. Lost a lot of young souls trying to trying to avenge the issue. So we did the same. We would do the same, exactly the same thing. Hey, good morning. Wait a minute, hold on a second. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay. Hold it. Hold it. Don't go no place. Okay. Yes. It says great people are humble, and most of us underrate the importance of humility. And it is an important skill because it keeps us teachable, regardless of how much we already know or the things we possess. Yeah. Now I think he has a problem with that one. I think. Oh no, no, no. He wasn't in Israel, was he? Oh, okay. I didn't know he did that. Hmm. Hmm. Mm. Oh, listen, I don't disagree with you. Yeah, yeah, I don't, yeah, yeah, I don't disagree. But now, I'm not giving tit for tat here, but Obama went overseas one time, said something about America too. So I mean, I don't, yeah, and I think we need to keep our own dirty laundry in our own house. Um, yeah, Yeah, that's true. And mm, yeah. Listen, that's not one of his traits. So, uh, mm, yeah. Well, right. The one thing you should send this to Cumulus and would hire you back for a minute. Anyway, listen, everybody's good. I'm trying to get this sound thing squared because I don't. Yeah, nobody can hear because what you said. What you said some great stuff, but I'll make sure that I re yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that his call, ladies and gentlemen, was and maybe I won't take any call till I figure out what's going on with this thing right here. I don't know, but it's normally working pretty good. Normally working pretty good. Okay, so his call was about Trump today making an hour and a half speech over in Israel, pretty much lambasting everybody and everything except and Trump. If he's got a one big fault, it's the me fault. I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. And again, I just got to ask people. I mean, this ain't the first time he's been in office. What was what? Why was America so desperate to get rid of um, why were they so desperate to get rid of y'all can write this stuff online if you want to if you can't and I'll put your comments uh, on the air here until I figure out what my problem with this thing is here, but I'll get it done. I'll get it done. I had it done all week last week, so I don't know what's going on, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But anyway, he really is sort of narcissistic, and humility is not one of his personality, not one of his personality uh, appendages. I'll put it to you that way. He forgets about humility. But again, the question is, why did me and other people vote for the guy if and listen, he was about. I think he's a little better this time than he was the first time. But the question is, why did so many people say, "Okay, I'll put up with him," rather than put up with the other guy? Okay, why is that? Now, somebody says when it's true, it ain't bragging, and I that's true. But truth is a is a is a pendulum that moves from left to right. Okay, and depending on how you interpret that truth, then that's something else. But again, um I don't I just there's something about him that I always liked. I like a man who speaks his mind, but I will admit to you, I won't vote for anybody else that has not had some leadership role, not being a boss. You see, he's used to being a boss. He's not used to being a leader. Okay. Uh, True. Close the board. True. That's true. Listen, he doesn't necessarily isn't wrong about the things he says. He may be wrong about the way he presents them, but again, let somebody else give you your flowers. Stop taking. Uh, he stopped 8 wars. Well, I don't know if he stopped 8 wars. Um, but I don't know if we were in 8 of them since he's been in office. Again, listen, it is merely a an observation. Nobody likes even if the one reason why Muhammad Ali caught so much grief, and he did. He got hostages back. That's true. He did all these things, but somebody said, "And then let my work speak for itself. Let my work speak for itself." And I don't have to keep telling you. I just think he's a little bit. I think he's a little bit over the pale. I still like him, but I after this tenure, yeah, I wouldn't. Somebody's going to have some political. Um, somebody said they. Somebody said the reason why we voted for him because we were tired of the educated buttholes, so they elected a real butthole for office. Well, his work does speak for itself, which is why he doesn't have to tell everybody. You know what I mean? I mean, if I came if I came on well, I do most of the time actually. But if I said what a great guy I was every day, people would just, it'll turn people off. Okay, if you're a great guy, let your work shows what he did. Although I got to tell you, did he deserve the Nobel Peace Prize for the work he's done over there? Sure. If Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize for just getting elected, absolutely, I think he deserved it. But he didn't deserve it because he has no humility. Okay, he has no real, and I will agree with you, Willie. Going to another country, speaking ill of our country, I think is not a good thing. It's not a criticize America on foreign land, although they are one of our best and steady. Uh, uh, um, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Allies in that part of the world. So again, I listen. The guys just don't have much tact, like I didn't in the army. Okay. Um, what did the winner of the Nobel Peace Prize say about Trump? I don't know what they said. What they say? Um, when was the last time the lady danced in front of? I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. Anyway, so he does not have the greatest tact. He just doesn't. But none of us are perfect, and we all got issues that we could do better with. But I do believe he deserved that Peace Prize. I mean, Obama got a Peace Prize, a Nobel Peace Prize, because he got elected president of the United States, and that's the only reason why he got it. I thought the Nobel Peace Prize was a prize that you give people who are who accomplish extraordinary things under extraordinary circumstances. Maybe the cure for cancer, polio, or some social construct that you come up with that makes our cities and our urban meccas a better place to live. Now, somebody come up with that, yeah, we need to give him a Nobel Peace Prize. He never had to pay taxes the rest of his life. Okay, I don't know what they said about Trump because I think it was a woman, and I didn't. Yeah, I don't really care much about the Nobel Peace Prize. But she said, what did you say? Praise him for getting the Gaza mess settled. Yeah, yeah. And I don't really know if it's settled right now because those people over there, one minute they'll say something, the next minute they'll do something else. I don't know what their intentions are, but I know one thing: 20 people have come home, have to be held hostage over there, and 20 live people. They killed some died. It just, I will never understand that part of the world. I just won't. I would never understand it. And I don't even know if I want to understand that part of the world. I mean, unless I had to go fight them, then I'd like to know a little bit where I am. But uh, I don't know. But I don't know. But there's some people who don't like Trump for whatever reason, and no matter what he does, nobody's gonna like him. But I do think going to a foreign land, bragging on yourself, is kind of, it's kind of narcissistic in my mind. But again, he's not perfect. He's not perfect. So I said, well, okay, he's not, and that's for sure. But neither am I. So we can all have our complaints about people. One thing about it, no matter who's in office, no matter who's president of these United States, no matter who's mayor of the city of Montgomery, no matter who's the head of the city council, no matter who's on the county commission, no matter who the governor is, who the president is, who your congressman is, who your senator. No matter what position that people hold, there's somebody who is going to complain about them. Okay, there's somebody going to complain. Okay, about whoever you are. We used to be a country where we could agree to disagree, and it's a difficult thing to do these days because um, people are just I mean, I don't know. We just I mean, and we're taking it so personal. I mean, we actually take our political disagreements like somebody just slapped your mama. I mean, we take it personal. I don't. Okay. And he said the hostages are home, and that's settled. Again, I think he deserves a lot of recognition for that. But again, I'm not the one to give out the Nobel Peace Prize. And Trump sometimes he's his worst enemy when it comes to communication. He ought to let the people write his speeches, and he ought to pay attention to the speeches that they write. And they ought to let his communication department do the communicating because he is not the world's greatest communicator for presidency of the United States. He just isn't. But does he get things done? Yeah. And basically, that's all I'm looking for. Get something done. Don't give me platitudes. I don't want no more platitudes. Get something done. Okay. Like, please don't tell me education is bad. We know that. You don't have to tell me that anymore. We know why education is bad because the people in public education don't expect much. Okay. Let's see. Oh, non folks like you give him a pass, but can't see any good that Mayor Reed does. Make it make sense. Okay. Well, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. What is it going to say? They say change is going to come, but it hasn't happened when you think people of color don't deserve any kind of awards in life. Now, so who thinks that? Okay, really? I mean, who says that? I mean, who said it? Did Trump say that black people don't deserve any kind of award? Really? Come on now, tell the truth. Okay, and we lie on the man all the time. We and even some of the people who work for the government lie on the man because they don't like him. So I don't know. And here's somebody says, "Why do Democrats hate America first?" Yeah, that's that is but they can't. But here's the thing about it: they can't go any place else in the world and do the things they do and live. Okay, we want to change male to female, females to males, and we accept it because we say, hey, that's your choice. That's what you want to be. But nobody else would do that. Okay, I mean, so listen, I don't know what the answer is to some of these problems. It just I think we looked at most of our leaders and as milk toast, which is a timid, meek, and unassertive person. And the Republican Party, for the most part, I mean, listen, for all intents and purposes, Trump is a Democrat. He's always been a Democrat. He only ran for president as a Republican. He's always stuck with the Democrats. Okay, he's pretty much a Democrat. Okay, and I knew this when he was in New York. I mean, the NAACP got him at meetings, making Man of the Year because he's writing them checks to him and stuff like that. But he's always been he's been mainly his philosophy has been mainly a democratic philosophy. Okay, so that lets you know how bad it was in the years gone by. That I mean, that's why it's been bad. It's just been bad because um, we didn't really know what we wanted. I mean, we really did not know. Okay. Okay, so is that don't you know? But anyway, so much for that. So much for that. So much for that. Um, I need to know. See, I don't know if my numbers. I think my thing is working now, but I'm not sure. But somebody can give me a call. Let me know. Uh, Take off the offering plate of your hat off your head, and you'll be able to think better. What offering plate? I don't have no offering plate. I do need to take some donation. Now, I was there's something that I've never known till this weekend. I never knew. I guess it hasn't really made the history books in America because it happened in Georgia. I mean, in Alabama, because it happened, I think, at Ebenezer Church in Atlanta back in 1974. I didn't realize that Alberta King, Martin Luther King's mother, was shot to death in a church. Now, so I didn't know that. As a matter of fact, she was shot to death by a black man, and not a guy that was old. He was 23 years old, Marcus Wayne Chesno, and and another guy named Edward Boykin, who he I didn't realize that. I didn't never know his mother was killed, shot down in a doggone 6 years after her son died. Let's say he died in 68, just 69, 70, 71, 72, 73. Yeah. 6 years after her son gets murdered, his mother gets murdered and by a black man. I said, well, and he said, you're serving a false God. Well, I wonder who he's serving right about now. I didn't realize. Did y'all know that? A lot of people didn't know that, but his mother was shot in 1974 on June the 30th, 1974, in Atlanta, Georgia, and she was the choir director, and she played the organ for the church, and it was a black man that did it. Yeah, man. I mean, I can understand my enemy messing with me, but I can't understand that people supposed to be part of my family messing with me, So, whoo, boy, I tell you, man, what an what a thing to happen. Wait, I thought you said you didn't need a gun in church. Well, well, okay, listen. What I said was, I've often, I've often, I've often wondered if our faith is strong enough, or if carrying a gun in church is a testament to our not having faith. And again, I know that's a tough one because sometimes the Bible says there are righteous indignations, and I would imagine that you have a right to defend yourself, whether you're in church or not. And I do. Listen, I can't study all history. Okay, being that I'm not from the South, the Southern history is one that I didn't even listen. I didn't even know about Morehouse College till I got here in '91. I mean, when you live in a city where Notre Dame is at, no other college matters, whether it's HBCU or whatever you want to call it. No other college matters. Notre Dame is the creme de la creme, besides Yale and Harvard, and USC and places like that, and Berkeley and Cal Berkeley and stuff. But so I didn't even know it existed, because at home, I mean, we knew the difference between black and white, but the conversation never came up every day. Of course, I left at 17, so maybe the conversations were there, but I didn't partake of them, and every day I didn't hear about it. But I didn't know that his mother was killed by a black man. I didn't know that. So you don't hear much about that, as a matter of fact. 6 years after her son was, wow, that's interesting. Anyway, also, don't forget Student of the Week. Last week's Student of the Week was Leah Williams. I think Leah. I don't know if it's Leah or Lee Williams. I don't know which one it is. A sophomore at Jag High School. She won the week's poll with 448 votes. Y'all need to get out there and do some more voting for some of these kids on Student of the Week. I mean, y'all really need to do that, because if they're out there doing terrible things, we are going to bring it up. We are going to talk about it. So, let's go to Montgomery Advertiser on Thursday and make sure that you vote for Student of the Week. Lee Williams, again, Leah. I don't know if that's Leah or Lee, but you guys know what it is. Okay. You got to know what it is. Anyway, she has been described by her teachers as a student with an outstanding academic performance and dedication in the classroom who consistently maintains excellent grades. She sets a strong example for her peers through her work, her ethic, her work ethic, determination, and positive attitude. In addition to excelling academically, she also shines as a student athlete on the volleyball team. So that's great at Jack High School. I didn't know they had a volleyball team. And demonstrating leadership, discipline, and a school spirit both on and off the court. So again, let us give her some accolades. So yes, yes, yes. Do we get it? No? Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. So Leah Williams, last week's student of the year. Okay, we like that. That's good. People always say, "You don't say nothing good about what I do." Yeah, I do. Okay. There were people found dead this weekend, of course, and let me get to this. Let me get to this. Let me get the. A couple last year, early in the year last year, um, Alabama Power, which is owned by the Southern Company, and some people who listen to this show got stock in it, so they don't really care how high it goes up, but that's okay. The Southern Company that owns Alabama Power, Georgia Power, and a couple of other utilities, um, they went up 3 times last year. Not this year, but last summer. They 3 times. So the other day, I ran into somebody who kids who one of their children worked for Alabama Power or Southern Power. And do you know every time they take the power up on us, they give their corporate people raises. Okay, that's how they give them raises. Wait. They take our power bill up and they give them, and some of them get $4,000 and $5,000 raises. Okay, bonuses. Excuse me, bonuses, not bonuses. And I said to myself, so let me get this right. We have to pay more for our electricity from the Southern Company because they give out raises or bonuses to the people who work for corporate. Yes. Okay. All right then. I okay. That's something else. That is okay. And I wish I had a solar system I can put on top of my place so I don't have to pay Alabama Power because they just use us and abuse us. And I'm glad that what's her name is gone because she really didn't do a whole hell of a lot to maintain a reasonable rate. And Twinkle, I love Twinkle as a person, but she sucked as the Public Service Commission. She didn't really do much, from what I can tell, to help us. We helped the hell out of Alabama Power and Southern Company though, but didn't do much to help us. So I don't know. And now I find out why they do why the bills went up last year 3 times, so they could give raises to people in Southern, so the Southern Company can give their staff bonuses. Okay, well we feel you on that one. Just thought I'd let you know that one. Okay, so Alberta King died 30th of June 1974 after being shot in church by a black man. Hmm. I'm trying to figure out why it is that we get all angry when a white man kills us, but we make excuses when black people kill each other. Okay, I just haven't figured that one out yet. But, I mean, 1974, and he's killed her because he said she was serving a false god. Now, my most controversial issue of the morning is this one. I did buy a phone last week, a different phone, so I can, I think let me see if I can, because I'm tired of this thing right here. Let me see if I can. Okay, so let me see if I can do this. Let me see. Woo. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah. Okay, so I can just use my regular phone. This one, what's the number to my regular phone anyway? I don't know. Hold on one second. Let me see. So I don't even know my number. Oh, okay. Okay. There it is. 578-27. 578-2708. Let me see if that actually works. Okay, let me see if that actually works. Because I don't have to deal with the computer until I figure it out. The good news, he was a well, it's not good news, but I'm certainly glad it wasn't the other. Let me put that number up there so somebody wants to call and ask me questions here. Let me see. I gotta put the number. Okay. Let me see. Call. It's 334 578 578 2708 2708. Okay. There you go, right there. So I think I got it. Okay. So I'm just gonna use my my alternative line at the moment and see how that works out. I'm tired of it. But I'm gonna figure this computer thing out here in a second. Something keeps changing when I turn off the computer on the weekends. I don't know what it is, but we'll figure that out. All right. So anyway, moving on to other things. Now, this is going to upset some people, and I understand. I feel you on this one. I feel you on this one. Is it time that we actually amend the Constitution to limit the scope of who can own a gun, or at least who can carry a gun? Now, the only exception I would make is that everybody has a right to have a gun in their home. But I think it is time that we took a real look at the Constitution of the United States and that Second Amendment, so we could, because something's wrong in our country. Too many people are being shot to death with guns. And we could talk about the Constitution all we want to. And at the next funeral where they have somebody been laid to rest because of a gun, and last year alone, I think we had 12,000 people shot with guns, killed with guns. Okay. So, and most of those people, unfortunately, were people of color. Okay, most of the people were people of color, and the shooting was done mostly by people of color. Now, I know that people say, "Well, we don't want what about white on white crime? What about that doesn't happen very much. It happens periodically in America. That's true. It does because people are people, but it does not happen in the vein that it happens in the black community. Okay, it just doesn't. Now, y'all can say if you want to, every year around what they tell me the other day about how many 11,000 young men die in this country by homicide, by gun. So y'all just 578-2708. Let's see if let's see. I mean, is it time that we revisit the Second Amendment? I think it is. I think it is. And the only exception would be if you served in the military. Other than that, I don't know why a man needs to walk down a Federal Drive or walk down Norman Bridge Road with a gun, a rifle in his hand. There's nothing unless I mean, we don't have Hamas in America. We got some here, but it ain't Hamas in America. So why is it that you folks out there who own guns, okay, Don had suggested who can own guns. Where's it at? What was that? What was his suggestion? Again, we don't. It's crazy in this country right now. Okay, everybody does not mean, and I think our founding father did not mean for us to be able to walk around with a gun, but he did want us to have one to protect ourselves from an over encroaching government. I got that part, but again, they never imagined in a million years that we go around here making people. Because back in the day, people walked around with rifle. When I was coming up, kids came up with gun. 12th graders at least came to school with the rifles in the rack in the back. It wasn't a big deal. We've gotten so far away. Okay, we've gotten so far away from the things that we're supposed to do. And it really? Okay, but anyway, yeah, I'll see that. What he says, make a law that keeps guns from Democrats. Well, yeah, but we do know that there's some Republicans who but most of the I ain't gonna lie to you, I do believe that most of the people do the shooting in this country. If they were to vote, they probably would vote Democrat. I do believe that. But again, it's time that we reassess the meaning of the second, because as far as I'm concerned, when I read it, and I'm not a lawyer, but when I read it, well, okay, I hear what you're saying. But when I read it, it tells me that it is for the militia, not for. But back in the day, now militia was everybody that was from 16 to 60 years old, and I understand that. I understand because that was a whole different time. That's why we have the amendment process to our Constitution, because I really believe we need to go in there and gut that thing. There's no reason in the world why Leroy and Bubba Jr. need to walk down the street with a gun on their side unless they are law enforcement. I just don't see it. And I don't want to be like I know the British and all this stuff and say I don't even mind people carrying a concealed weapon. I don't mind that, but I think they ought to have a license. They ought to have some. We ought to have some way of knowing who is carrying a weapon in our society. And the way you know that is that you make them by the go downtown and register that gun, because I mean, think about this for a second. When we get stopped driving our car that we own, that most of us took 5 years or whatever it costs, unless you got money, took 5 years to pay for that gun, for that car. And we got to prove to them that we have registered the car. I think about that. We got to prove to them that we have registered the car. Okay. And it's our car. But I mean, you can accidentally hit somebody and somebody can die. But the purpose of the gun is to kill or disable something, whether it's a human being, a chicken, a turkey, a pig, whatever it is. It is to kill or to injure or disable something. And you're telling me that we live in a place where we should not make people register those deadly weapons. We register our cars, okay, or at least make the penalty to a point where if you get caught doing things with a gun that you ought not be doing nothing, we're gonna feed you for 10 years in prison with no parole, no chance of parole, no chance of anything except unless you can prove it was in self-defense. Okay, self-defense is still good. So why is it that people are so unwilling, lawyers and everybody are so unwilling? Of course, it gets them a lot of customers. Now, if you got a lot of brothers shooting each other, then you got some good customers. But most of the time, these brothers shoot each other, they don't have no money for a lawyer. So why are they fighting it? So why do we fight this all the time? We need to do something about this gun violence in America. And I'm thinking, unless you've been in the military, and personally, I think concealed weapon, I don't have a problem with that. I just don't. As long as somebody knows that you have it, okay? So someone make it make sense to me. Make an argument with me that we don't need to know who's walking around with a gun in their pocket or a rifle in their pants leg. Who make it make sense to me. Yeah. Oh, well, somebody can call me. I think the phone is. Yeah, I think the phone is working. Yeah, it's working. I put a new number up there. It's working. I'm sure it is. Mm-hmm. Okay. And getting back to Trump, again, you have to ask yourself this: why did people vote for him twice? Not just once, but twice. Okay. Time for new gun. I know I sound like a. I know I sound like a Democrat when I say this. I know I do. And I'm not. But I'm not so much conservative that I don't think we need when there's a time for all things, and right now there's a time for us to have a really good conversation about guns in America. Okay, it really is. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't have a clue, but I do know one thing: unless you've been in the military, train how to use that gun. That I don't want you walking around the street with one anyway. If you're civilian, unless you or you make them go to a class, but again, that's concealed. I don't think people ought to have a right to walk around with a shotgun in their hand. I just don't. Because what happens if he gets mentally ill as he's walking down the street and he decides to go into a gas station and shoot everybody? I mean, is there any common sense? Is there any reason that we should put our society and our people in jeopardy because we want idiots to walk around with guns, open carry guns? Is there any reason that's necessary? I mean, I saw 2 times I've seen a guy walking down Norman Bridge Road and Southern Bypass with I think one was a MAC-10. So is there any reason? Somebody make the argument. Make it make sense to me. Why a guy needs to walk down the street in urban America with a gun? Just make it out in the open. Just make it make sense to me. Now, I don't think for a long gun, you should have to have a license for a long gun. But if you're gonna carry a gun, conceal, and concealed is the best way I like it, because don't nobody know who got a gun. Okay. But you have to have a license to have a concealed weapon. Am I gonna have to run for the legislature to put this up there? Am I the only one with big cojones that can get this across? If you're not the police or in law enforcement, you don't need. I mean, it is time for in Dothan, Alabama, Wiregrass Commons Mall. Bunch of people shot down there the other day. Okay. So it's happening all over the place. It ain't just happening in Montgomery. It's happening all over this country because we got a bunch of young men full of piss and vinegar, okay, and they get their manhood from carrying a gun, okay, and then somebody's gonna die. If it's not the person with the gun, he's gonna kill somebody else. And again, what is the purpose of a gun? The purpose of the gun is to disable somebody or something or kill it. Okay, even if it's leisure hunting, it is to kill something or disable something. And you don't think that we need okay a gun law? Really? Oh, what are you saying here? The gun lobby controls the Republican legislators because that's who raises money from them. The people are not represented in the gun lobby. I don't think. Hey, do me a favor, man. Call me at another number. My number is what's my number? Call me another number because people can't hear you till I figure this out. What's my number? It's 578-2708. Bud, you got me? Oh, I can't hear you. Yeah. Call me another number. Yeah, because I don't know what's going on with that one right there right now. I'll figure that out later on. Okay, so that's what's there we go. What's going on, bud?
All right. Is this going to be the number going forward?
Well, I don't know yet. If I can get that one to work, we're good. But for the time being, yeah.
Okay. Question for you.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. Let me get it right here. I know you want to leave me. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. The 17-year-old that they arrested in relation to the shooting downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Was he legally allowed to have the firearm?
No.
Okay. So would registering an illegally owned firearm, do you think he would register it?
He probably won't register the weapon. But let me ask you something. If
Let's walk this through.
okay,
So you have a criminal who was committed to murdering people that weekend, if indeed he was involved in the shooting, illegally owning a firearm, using it to kill people, illegally carrying it. You could pass another 100 gun laws, and that would not have changed that situation one iota.
you are probably right, except since we already know there are people who are walking around with guns who don't have much sense, then why not limit that scope to just a few rather than everybody?
Okay. Do you think narrowing the scope is going to change a criminal?
No, but it's easier to find it's easier to find people. I think. Let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. Because drinking is legal, does that mean everybody should drink?
Well, if you're of legal age, yeah, unless you've got some reason where you're ordered by the court where you can't drink or something like that. Maybe you're on probation or whatever the case may be.
Right, but
legal age.
But here's the problem.
And you go ahead.
Here's the problem.
But
when you make
the problem is carrying a gun if you're of legal age and you're not a felon,
mm-hmm.
and you meet the guidelines, it's a constitutional right.
But,
and it does not.
Well, again, that constitutional right depends on who's looking at the Constitution.
There is not a city in America that has more restrictive gun laws than Chicago.
Right.
Does that seem to be making any kind of difference?
Well, only because it's ran by a Democrat. That's an idiot. Okay. And it's always been that way. Since Mayor Daley, it's always been that way. Democrats run Chicago.
You know, you understand these different suggestions that you're throwing out there.
I'm telling you that I think we need to have a way to keep up with people. Well, again, I don't have a problem with concealed carry, but it needs to be a license, and we don't need to let people walk around town with a rifle on their side. We just don't need to do it.
But if it's constitutionally allowed, why would you not allow them to carry a rifle?
Because I don't see that in the Constitution. It says for a well-regulated militia.
And again, the Supreme Court in the United States versus Heller, the Supreme Court ruled that it applies to individual citizens. So you can have your opinion, but the U.S. Supreme Court has spoken.
And you think the U.S. Supreme Court is right all the time?
Well, they're definitely right in this regard.
Well, that's because they're on your side. But to other people,
if they rule, then they rule.
Well, they rule and they rule. And listen, Roe versus Wade was the law of the land. Was that right?
That turned back up to the states like it should have always been. Even Ruth Bader Ginsburg said Roe v. Wade was originally made legal under false pretense. It should not have been that way. Ruth Bader Ginsburg said that.
And again, what's this well-regulated militia line in the Second Amendment? I mean, we keep forgetting that. And we are not the militia.
As I said, you can have the Cavan Airborne Militia. There's nothing preventing you from doing that.
Then get a militia, then walk around with and protect us.
This Friday, we had this same conversation.
Yeah.
And you were talking about a militia 16 to 6.
16 to 60. That's right.
People under 16 were carrying rifles and pistols in the 1700s.
Okay. Well, again, it seemed like to me they also Plessy versus Ferguson. I think when they said that a man, wasn't he considered a property of somebody else? I mean,
it sounds like you're on a.
Yeah, well, I got my wait a minute. The problem is that because it's law doesn't make it right.
Kevin, again, How many laws could Montgomery pass and a criminal is still going to carry?
And so then let us work. Okay, if wait, I'm not asking this question. If you made all the gasoline at gas stations free, everybody would go get some. But since they would take as much as they want, as long as they want. But because we got to pay for it, it is limited in scope who gets it. Guns ought to be the same way. You shouldn't let everybody carry one.
Oh, the judicial branch does not agree with your limited view of it.
That's true.
Buying gas or even get free gas is not a constitutional right.
And according to the Second Amendment, carrying a gun outside the militia is not one either. But I realize that people.
Again, the Supreme Court says you're wrong, Kevin.
Okay.
To go with the Supreme Court.
But of course you'll go with the Supreme Court because you agree with them.
Kevin, do you think this 17-year-old bought that pistol at a gun show in Montgomery?
Of course not. I don't have any problem with the gun shows. I don't have. That's a symptom. That's not the problem. Yeah.
Kevin, a criminal is going to break the law.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter how many laws the state wants to pass, or the city wants to pass, or the county wants to pass. A criminal is going to be a criminal. So the solution is you deal with the criminal. You do not take the rights of law-abiding citizens away. This 17-year-old never needs, if he's found guilty, never needs to see the outside of a jail cell again.
Well, he probably won't. I mean, he probably won't. He shouldn't be. I ain't got no problem with that either. Even though he's a juvenile, he just got to pay for it for what he did.
But that's how you solve the gun violence problem.
Okay.
You deny.
But you cannot convince me with reason and logic that the founding fathers meant for everybody to walk down the street 2025 with a gun on their side.
And so you're certain with 100% positivity, nobody under 16 never had a pistol in the 1700s.
No, because is that my phone or yours? When I was coming up, people had guns all over the place. Ooh, let me hang that up right quick there. I got to put this I got to put that up. Anyway, well, that is a well, at least I got my phone thing taken care of in a way. I got to fix it up when I get off the air this morning to do some things with it. But at least it's a regular phone. There we go. All right, give me the complaints.
There's no complaints. You finally making some sense.
Well, it just makes sense. I mean, they did not plan for us to walk around and shoot each other.
No, the Second Amendment. People forget that the Bill of Rights was created first. The Bill of Rights was there before the Constitution was made. It's added to the Constitution. The first 10 amendments are the Bill of Rights. So before we had a unified and freestanding army, the states were independent. That's why it says for a well-regulated militia, for the security of a free state. People forget that. So you got to read this in context. It just doesn't say the right to bear arms shall not be abridged. You are correct. It says for well-regulated militia, for the security of a free state, because we didn't have a united army. We don't have what we've got right now. And so that was the purpose of the right to bear arms, to protect the state. So keep in mind, but before the American Revolution, we were just we were independent, like little city states, like the Greeks used to have, like small little countries. Georgia was Georgia, North Carolina was North Carolina, New York was New York. There was no united state. It was independent state, and so that's where that comes from. But to the point of so that's where the Second Amendment gets his life from. Now, you are correct. I don't think it was simply meant to be unfettered. We have plenty of youth you're going to arm your populace. You understand? When people get angry, what do you think's going to happen? Step on my shoe, Kevin. You know, I think, watch where you're going. You tell me, watch where I'm going.
Okay.
Well, I don't like your tone.
Hold on a second. Let me
pull my jacket back.
Can y'all hear Joe now? Or is it still no sound, Gary? Can you hear Joe now? I'm going to fix this up when I get off the air today, but I hope that y'all can hear him. Joe, can you hear yourself back in the feedback?
No, because I got you on mute. I hear you.
Oh, well, don't worry about that. Okay, well, this is ghetto. Somebody said this is ghetto fabulous, but I'll have it straight. Hold on. Anyway.
I don't know for that. That's just a stupid comment from a stupid individual.
No, it's rigged.
That doesn't make any sense. Suppose Charlie Kirk shooting was go back to the spirit.
Yeah, but that's okay.
It's about gun violence.
Yeah, it is, and I gotta go because I can't hardly hear that thing. You know, I'll fix that later on if I can get it to work the way it's supposed to work. You're back, so okay, well that's good. Oh, I think I know what happened there. Okay, I think I know. Okay, never mind. I got that covered. I'll just turn this off in a second here. Anyway, so good morning, everybody. Again, this whole gun thing is going to be with us until we do something about it. We need to do, and I believe in the Second Amendment, but I don't think the Second Amendment was meant to let every Tom, Dick, and Harry walk around town with a gun. I just don't. I just don't believe that. There's nobody. Now I realize that people can. The Supreme Court is. I even hate the word Supreme Court because you're not supreme. You're not. Everything you guys say is like your doo-doo don't stink. You know. I mean, it's part of our government, and I understand that. But just because they're human beings, they go to the bathroom like everybody else. I bet when they got to leave the bathroom, they got to take some spray there and spray it. Okay, because their crap smell like everybody else's. Okay. So let's not act the word supreme when we put that supreme on anything. Like when I go to Taco Bell, it don't cost me no more money until I call it supreme. And all they do is put some lettuce and tomatoes on it. That makes it supreme? Come on, man. Now the Supreme Court has been wrong often. Okay, but since there is a gun lobby, and I'm with the National Rifle Association, I listen. I don't have a problem with them either. But I have a problem with the people they can buy. Not for trying to. I just got a problem with people they can influence with money. I don't have a problem with the NRA. Our legislators are supposed to be working for us and not anybody else. So I don't have a problem with any group of people, NAACP, the National Right to Life or National Rifle Association. I don't have a problem with them trying to influence our legislators. I got a problem if legislators are influenced to the point against all reason and common sense. And there's no reason in the world where we need to let guy walk down Madison Avenue, walk down Federal Drive, walk down Southern Bypass with a rifle on his side. There's no reason in the world for that to happen. There's no reason. Whether the government says not, I don't care. There's no reason in the world. Now, if this was Fallujah, or if this was Afghanistan or someplace like that, hey, you may have a different story. In Israel, maybe we have different stories because people are always trying to kill them. But over here, nah, not yet. Now, when it gets to that point, you know, then I'll understand. But I'm just sorry. And study. I don't really need to follow I don't really need to study the founding fathers because they wasn't my father. They wouldn't, and everything they did had nothing to do with me. Okay, I just happened to be born in the right. I just happened to be in the wrong. At the black folks just happened to be over here coming to work. So I although I respect our Constitution and everything, don't act like it was made for the black folks in this country. It wasn't, because we are the one that are suffering from these guns. We're the one, and our young men. And now, I agree with you. It's not necessarily because of the gun, but the gun is being used. The easy access to these guns are being used to kill a bunch of young men. And their problem is they're daddyless. So if you take fathers away, replace them with a simulated manhood, which is the ability to carry a gun and kill people, then boy, you what you do is you wreak havoc in a bunch of communities, which is where we are. So their manhood comes from holding a gun, okay, and not standing straight up with a straight backbone and being a man, because they didn't have anybody to teach them how to do it. I didn't have anybody to teach me how to do it, but I thank God for the United States Army, because that's the only reason why that's the only reason why I'm still here today, because I was on the wrong path, headed the wrong way, and I was going fast. Okay, not having your dad in your life is a big deal. Now, if you want to really change things, make the abandonment of people's children a felony. Okay, make it a felony. Abandonment. If you know for sure, if he signed that birth certificate and make it a felony, because he shouldn't be walking around here acting like he ain't got no responsibility, and he does. Okay, and if you can get some of these fathers involved, I didn't say you got to live in the house with the mom and because sometimes things don't work out. I know, I trust me, I do, but you do not abandon your children. Okay, especially your boys, in a time like we live in today, when everybody is getting killed, whether they're guilty of anything or not, just walking down the street. Recently, what's it? Last year, had a lady going down the street, and I'm gonna fix it, brother. I'm gonna take care of it. I'm gonna, yeah, I'll get it. I'll get it going on. But so anyway, that's the way we roll, and that thing right there. So I didn't know. Did anybody hear Joe at all? Okay, did anybody hear Joe? I think I'm using the same input for my I'm using the same input for my mic that I'm using for the mic for the for that thing over there. So we'll fix that. Hey, tomorrow I have it squared away. Okay, every week it looks like every time I turn off the thing for the weekend, I come back and it gives me the blues. So, but I'm gonna figure out what it is. Okay, I'm gonna figure out what it is. I promise. I'm gonna do that. I am gonna do that. So do we agree? Do we agree that we need? And Gary, I hear what you. I know you gun nuts out there. I know you like them. I like them too. They ain't nothing. Listen, there's only one other thing feels just as good in your hand than your pistol does. Okay, and maybe that's why men have this insatiable appetite to hold that gun. They think they're holding something else. I don't know what it is. You know, I mean, listen, I can't even go there. But you know, I think we replace our other thing with a gun. Okay, because we probably can't find that no more. So we hold the other thing. Okay then. I'm gonna fix the audio thing. We get together again. I was doing so good last week. Okay, I was doing so good last week. Okay, so let me see if I'm back where I need to be on this thing right here, because every week it just gives me the blues. So I got it, but when it works good. As a matter of fact, when it does work, it works absolutely outstanding. The problem, my course, I got to get some consistency going on here. Okay, all right, I got to get some consistency going on right here. So that's what I'm working on as we speak right now. Okay, as we speak, because I don't know what the world's going on right here. Okay, let me see here now. Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, so default is okay. So I got the microphone. Okay, that's fine. Ringing. Okay, so we got that going on. Okay, so we got that working on. And we got I wonder, is it the speakers? Yeah, maybe it's the speakers. All right, somebody call me. See if I got this fixed now. Maybe it's the speakers that mess up on this thing. I don't know. 521. Well, that's okay. I can call my own. I can call my own show here. Let me see. Okay, what's the number here? 521-2963. I can call my own show. 33. Okay, hold on. See if I can get through. I would not put up this much longer. I'm gonna to order me one of those other systems. But anyway, now that I've handled the gun problem, who runs Chicago? A Democrat does. I mean, a Democrat runs Chicago. Game Johnson. That's crazy hell. The president asked him, did he want him? He said, well, we don't have a problem. We got a homeless problem. 56 people shot, 9 killed one weekend. And a couple weekends ago, we had 18 people shot, some killed. So that man is oblivious to what's going on in his own city. That's because he's running it. And again, he has to be accountable. He has to be accountable to some of the people that live there. And that's one of the problems we have with our public officials. Nobody wants to be accountable for the things that happen, for the environment that is laid at their feet. You know, they're responsible for the environment. I don't care what anybody says. I do believe, and this is just my thinking, and I love our mayor. I do. I like him. But I think he needs to do a better job getting some policemen on the streets in Montgomery. And the whole city council does. The whole city council does, from the left side to the right side, or the right side to the left side. They need to figure out how to get some people. They need to, and I don't think you have to offer everybody $100,000 a year to start. But then maybe if that's what it starts, then that's what it takes. That's what it takes. There's nothing more important than well, freedom is more important than safety, but safety is second. Okay, but there's nothing more important, I think, than that. Okay, so I'm just telling you, we got some issues here. Okay, so the mayor and our city council, our county commission. I mean, listen, we pay you guys a good piece of change every year. Okay, you're not getting rich off of it. I understand that, but it's a good addendum. It is a good addition to the salary that you're already getting. And for that money, all you have to do is make decisions. Okay, all you got to do is make decisions. You don't have to clean the grass. You don't have to cut the grass. You just have to make sound and reasonable decisions about the upkeep of our city and the upkeep of its people. Not all the people. I know. We were talking for a year that we were talking about the what's that? The living wage that the mayor brought up last year sometime, or early part of this year. Yeah, I don't think the city wants to get involved in distributing welfare. Not that, but you are responsible for creating an atmosphere that is conducive to empowering for these people to empower themselves, bringing up businesses, and we bringing businesses into town. We're bringing businesses into town out there, but now we got to get a bus out there so we can at least get to work. Because if I don't have a car, there's nowhere in the world I'm gonna be able to get way out there to Hope Hall or wherever that is out there. There's no way where you can do that. Or is that part of the county? Is Hope Hall part of Montgomery County? Anybody know? I think it is. So we got to put people in office that understand their main function is to create the atmosphere for prosperity. Not only for posterity, but for prosperity. Okay. I just, and you can't, nobody's coming here unless we have enough policemen to act fast in the issue in the face of crime. Okay, face of crime. I mean, we already starting people off at $55,000. I mean, I don't think the sheriff department gets that kind of money. I don't believe they do anyway. I think so y'all need to do something. I mean, we getting tired of hearing about what you don't have. We getting tired of hearing about, get them. Get them. We just excuses. I mean, Sergeant Elkins, yes, sir, First Sergeant, make it happen. Yes, sir, First Sergeant, I'll make it happen. And you're going to make it happen. Lieutenant Jones, hey, Lieutenant Jones, your PT scores suck. Yes, sir, Captain, I'm going to go out there and get it done. Nobody wants to hear these excuses anymore. I've been hearing all these excuses. Well, we can't find. Well, there's some people have plenty. Matter of fact, the sheriff department right now has a backlog of people waiting to get on. What's the difference between the sheriff department and the Montgomery Police Department? Why do they have a backlog of people who want to get on and we can't find anybody to get on? Yeah, okay, so Hope Hall is in Montgomery County. That's what I thought. Sir, what feels good in our hands other than a gun? Well, if I got to tell you, brother, you if I got to tell you, you call me later after the show, I'll explain it to you. Okay, I'm just saying. Let's see. Greg says, so if the Constitution was not written for black, and it wasn't. Come on, Greg. It wasn't written. No, it wasn't. I'm glad we got it, but it wasn't. 14th Amendment, I think, was, though. Then go ahead and violate the Fourth Amendment, fix your issue with the second, go down your own doors and take them. Well, listen. I mean, anybody who says that the Constitution was written with black folks in mind is just telling a bald-faced lie. It was not. Now, one of the things we did do, we did make it a living document that can be the amendment process. Okay, we're the only group of people that had to stop people from impeding our right to vote legally. They impeded our right to vote. Okay, they did. That's why the Civil Rights Amendment the Civil Rights Bill did not give us the right to vote. What it did was we already had the right to vote because we live here. But what it did was it took the impediments out of the way that were legally put in our way to stop us from securing the rights that we had already paid for by being born here. So let's not act like it. I love America. I love it. I kissed the ground every time I left this country and came back to it. Believe me, I couldn't think of any place I wanted to be. No place I went, I ever wanted to stay. So I'm good. But let's not be intellectually dishonest here, okay? The Constitution was not written for black folks. That's why we're still fighting so much today. Anyway, I got to let me see. I can do that. And the workload for black people, it is high. Okay. And why is it? Why is the workload heavier for the people in the city than it is in the sheriff's office? Well, I think that's still a matter of leadership. We are not setting an atmosphere that is conducive to obeying the law because of the consequences. When you and I told the mayor, okay, well, when we say we're not gonna stop people from panhandling all over the city, and then one of the first thing I said was this: okay, if you let the little things go, then the big things will start. And that's exactly where we are now. If you don't take care of the little things, like on your windshield, if you don't fix that windshield when that son of a gun is cracked, that little bitty thing up there, then what's going to happen? At some point, your whole windshield is going to be cracked. So the mayor doesn't want to hurt people's feelings by telling them, hey, get off the street begging. We love you. Go to Salvation Army. Wait a minute. We can't find a place to put the Salvation Army now. Oh, sorry about that. People who get paid, who are paid in their life thing is again, that's another stupid something from the Supreme Court. Okay, it's a stupid thing from the Supreme Court. Begging, panhandling is a First Amendment. Yeah, right. Okay. Well, then how come I can't threaten people on the telephone? That's my right. That's my right to free speech. I'm gonna absolutely come over and kick your butt, or I'm going to do all kind of things to you. That's called a threat, but that's free speech. Okay. So I'm just saying. So again, free speech is what you call it. Hey, it was not written. Now I'm a nice guy. I'm on the conservative side most of the time, but let's be honest, Greg. It was not made for black folks. It just wasn't. Okay. Now we trying to work it out. We worked a few of those things out, and we're good to go. But it was not made for black people. It just was not. We were considered cattle, whatever you want to call it. It was okay. But I believe in, again, I believe in people's. I believe in. philosophy. And most of the conservatives' philosophy better suits me than the other one does. It's stupid now. I'm born black in America. You know, I've had the N-word thrown at me a few times and denied a couple of things because of my color. And I ain't mad at them. Okay. Just because they're ignorant, I don't have to act that way. Okay, but let's not act like it's been a hayride in America for black folks. It has not been. My mother can tell you some things. If she was alive, she could tell you some things that you probably wouldn't want to hear. Anyway, time's up. I'm gonna fix my phone thing, y'all. So just give me till tomorrow, and I'll get it done. I promise. Right? So it is not the falling that gives you strength. It is when you get up every time you do, is where the strength comes from. So my word for you today, before I leave here, is tell you, no matter how many times you fall, keep getting up. Keep getting up. All you got to do, just keep getting up, and you'll be surprised. Kind of like push-ups. You'll be surprised how strong you become. Good day. Have a great day.
Your faith, a beacon in the sky. Every trial with lessons wrapped tight in